Mike Paul and Rowan Saws in charge of proceedings tonight. John Ironmonger, who did such a wonderful job for New South Wales, this time has a different Guernsey, and he'll be up against Simon Madden, oldest player on the ground at 32 years of age. So here we go, state of origin at its best. Victoria kicking to the left and winning it initially. Waitman gets the first kick of the game, down towards centre half forward. No mark is taken. The spoil was effective from Peter Wilson. Coming out wide now was Mitchell's hand pass. Gets it away to Shaw. Shaw a hurried kick down towards the forward line. Fisted towards the boundary. And we will see a throw in the right forward pocket. No, free kick going the way of Victoria in that right forward pocket. And it will be Michael McGuan going short. And loose checking on that occasion. An easy mark taken by Paul Salmon. Distance won't be a problem. First shot at goal for the night as the boos come up for Paul Salmon. Pretty good looking kick off the boot, and there's the first goal to Victoria. So Victoria lead, one straight goal. Western Australia yet to score.
And what a start for Salmon with Madden in the ruck. Salmon is being picked up by Henwood, and we see the kick, a very deliberate kick, having kicked 11 goals here in 1987, very familiar with his ground, and he's going to be a thorn on the WA side. Stoneham lining up at centre half back on Langdon.
Back in the middle. There's the time remaining. Ironmonger over the top. Hart towards half forward. Loose ball. Collins has got the run of it. Gets the hand pass towards midfield. Kick it. Going the wrong way. Mitchell put his body in well. He's besieged. And it'll be a ball up.
A bit of a bustle. This was expected too, Dennis. There's always something happening early in these games. Only needs the slightest of niggle and away they go.
Chris Lewis and Derek Kickett fighting. Lewis has got the free kick. Chips it out wide. Here's Gastev. Best and fairest last season for the Bears. He's at right centre wing. Goes down towards right half forward. In front, Heady, not paid. Waitman in the grasp. Rice, Stoneham across the ground. Intelligent kick. McGuan going back. Takes the mark on his chest. He's at right centre wing. The crowd building all the time. Ideal conditions tonight. Back goes Ironmonger. That will be a tactic. Get back on Salmon. Wilson hand passes towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
And here's the player that has the task on Gary Ablett. Peter Wilson.
So the scene is set for some marvellous duels here at the Wacker tonight. Kickett couldn't take it. Spills out the back towards Izard. He has it stolen from him, however. Lewis over the centre. Down towards the right half forward flank. Watson in front for Victoria. Goes over the top. Gets it back to Rice. Dean Rice now from half back. Kicks in towards the centre. Not a good kick, however. And again, the mark is taken by Lewis. Chris Lewis saying, where do I go? What do I do? And finishes up going short. Derek Kickett wants to go on with it. And does. The kick is long, down towards full forward. No mark taken. It came from Spalding. In towards the pocket it goes and taken over.
Good running there by All Sporting. He'll be keen to make amends for his effort on Saturday on low.
So Western Australia in attack and still looking for a score. Out the back it comes. The opportunity was there for Winmar. It still is. The kick is long, the kick is high, the kick is good.
Barney on the square too, Sandy. Very lucky not to lose that goal with two players there bussing as the ball was coming down. Sumic is one, Silvani the other. Could well have had the goal taken against them. It's been allowed.
That was on for a long time while the ball was in flight. Silvani and Sumic. It's a goal apiece back at the WACA ground. Order has been restored. Silvani and Sumic getting involved after that last goal, or before it really. Shaw kicks out of the middle, only as far as Malaxis. He's at centre half back through the middle. The target is Kickett, almost the mark. McGuan tried to crash his way through. This is Couch. Nicely done. Very evasive. Towards half forward with the kick. Lands an open space. Wilson. Big hand pass. Zanotti. Strong tackle. Waitman. Ball jarred free. Main Waring lost it. Ablett. The hurried kick inside 50. Salmon in front again. Almost the same spot. Perhaps a little further out.
That's where Henwood will find difficulty with Salmon when he does lead like that. He'll be okay in a bustling situation. Very strong is the Moose Henwood. But Salmon on the lead, hard to prevent.
Good lead, that one, because the ball turned over quickly, and Salmon obviously was really in the game. Salmon at his second. Good looking kick. He's got it. Victoria 2 goals, Western Australia 1.
This is a little reminiscent of Paul Salmon in the '88 Carnival in Adelaide, where he was the Tassie medalist and kicked 7 goals against WA at Football Park in South Australia. Very deliberate shot at goal.
Ominous signs for Western Australia and Wayne Henwood early on. From the middle, it's Victoria trying to get it out through Mitchell again. And effective. This time McGuan, who started the game extremely well. He pulls it into Ablett.
Peter Wilson there just drifting around behind the pack, thinking the ball might come over and allowing the play in front of him, Henwood, who was bustling with Salmon. Perhaps Lewis to come and assist. They couldn't get there. He was found wanting.
Gary Ablett, 35 metres out, directly in front. Very little breeze here at the Wacker tonight. Cool conditions, ideal for football. The drop punt is on its way. Has he snuck it home? I think he has. First one to Gary Ablett tonight. And a great start by Victoria. They moved to 3 straight goals. 18 leading Western Australia, 1 goal.
With such a dominant forward line as Victoria could have here, the importance for WA is to stem the tide through the centre. They're not doing that at the moment. They're not manning up. Victoria able to break free. And there also is space on that Victorian forward line that Ablett, Salmon can run into. And they're doing it well.
Gary Ablett and Peter Wilson, who's vice captain tonight for WA. Victoria lead by 12 points. Just over 18.5 minutes, or 19.5 minutes remaining rather. This is Langdon coming away from the middle. Long kick down towards full forward. Silvani's going back opposed to Sumic. Watson sold into trouble. Sumic on his natural foot pulls it back. Not far enough, out of bounds on the full in the left full forward pocket. Peter Sumic.
Tim Watson is lining up on a half-back flank, and he picked up Brett Heady at the start. A compliment there to Heady.
So Watson, deep in his own defensive area, hugs the boundary with the kick.
Oh,
Langdon fell over. Mitchell the hand pass towards the boundary, and Main Waring escorts it over.
not sure he actually fell over, Dennis. I think he was pushing and shoving, and as a result of his effort to do that, fell forward. A decent shove from Stoneham.
Ironmonger and Madden back to back. Kick it behind. Interesting. Gastiff gets the kick away down towards the half forward line. Stoneham goes back, almost the mark. Knocked forward by Winmar. Into the path of Buick. Lays it off nicely. This is Lewis. Indecision there. Gained about 10 metres along the ground. O'Donnell. Clever hand pass out of bounds, despite the pleas of Lewis.
So a throw in on that outer side. Western Australia have it in their attacking zone. Langdon forced to do the ruck work. At the bottom was Kickett. Pushed wide. An opportunity for Heady. Heads into the open goal and he puts one through. Brett Heady kicks his first and Western Australia's second. So they trail by 6 points. 3 goals to 2 on the 7 scoreboard.
Fantastic way to open up his debut in state football in the State of Origin games there. Brett Heady's had a fantastic year for the Eagles. Has been a real coup for that team. Reads the ball beautifully, steadies well. His disposal is immaculate.
Marvellous work in that pack by Derek Kickett to get it out. Great start to this game then. Very accurate kicking. Victoria by 6 points. Madden straight down to Malaxis. Kick half blanketed. Gastiff, quick kick inside half forward. It goes down towards the pocket. Frawley. Bennett pushed him in the back, I thought.
He's lost it this time.
Deliberate. Well, that's tough twice.
Runs coming on the ground there with the interchange being made with Alan Izzard.
Aaron Bennett, formerly an Eagle. Now, of course, with Melbourne. Hard against the boundary line. Normally kicks it a long way. This will test him. Will contest on the kickoff line. Off hands. A chance behind for Mitchell. Still Michael Mitchell out of midair. Ties the scores. Three goals apiece.
What a fantastic effort there by Mitchell. Great skill in his pace, reading the ball there, controlled it in midair, threw his foot at it. Good kick by Bennett from that distance there. If he was having a shot, very deliberate there, but setting it up. The flyer was heady, but good skill there by Mitchell. Fantastic comeback from that player, considering the injury he did have to his head.
What a start. 6 goals, 3 apiece, scores level. Madden wins it, but they can't take it out of the centre. It's Mainwaring to the half-forward line. What's the bounce going to do? It's good for Western Australia as it's pushed by Buick down towards the right forward pocket. And over goes Silvani with Sumich. The throw-in to take place just inside the 50-metre line for Western Australia. Paul Salmon got the Vicks going early with a couple of quick ones. But the home side have struck back. Madden goes it alone, wins it with the left hand, but it's Langdon at the bottom. Gets it out straight to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's kick is short to Couch. Wants someone going past. Finds him in Rice, whose hurried kick goes up towards centre wing. Bit of pushing and shoving going on there, and it's going the way of Victoria. And it'll be taken by Stewie Lowe. 16 kicks, 16 marks. Well, roughly his stats last week. Ablett the flyer. Couldn't take it. Scooped wide, but a little too wide. He was trying to accommodate Paul Couch going past. Just went a little too far on that occasion. It was Barry Mitchell trying to flick it on. So Couch short. Ablett again. Easily sneaking away.
Have to fill that hole.
Yes, they're going to have to sort of man up better too, Dennis. They're just allowing their forwards just too much latitude, the West Australians. You can't give them an inch. You've got to be right on their toes. It's not club football, it's state footy.
Ablett going for his second. And shaves it in. Yes! 2 goals to Gary Ablett, 2 goals to Paul Salmon, and Victoria again regain the lead. 4 goals to 3 in a frantic opening.
Again, as I mentioned there, and it's Peter Wilson just has to realise he can't play that loose man that he does normally in defence. He must sit right on Ablett. He's got the pace to stay with him, and the leaping ability. That must be his task tonight.
Well, you've got to say Salmon and also Ablett. The men you need to deny touches early in the game. Both have 2 goals already. Not good from WA's point of view. Shaw doing well close to the centre. Gains about 20 metres. Zanotti missed it. So did Henwood. Flicks it out eventually. Mitchell out wide towards left half forward. Brereton socket away by Lewis. It runs out of bounds. Dermot Brereton looking for his first touch still.
Yeah, Mark Zanotti has that player too, Dennis, and he's done well on a couple of occasions on Brereton, should I say.
That could be fiery. It's a boundary throw in just outside the 50. Rucks go at it. Lowe flicks it behind the pack. Shaw
On behind plate.
Yes, a fight on centre wing. Meantime, the kick goes down towards full forward for Victoria, and Salmon once more claims a mark, not paid. Gets the hand pass away. McGuan. Ablett left it behind. Mainwaring slipped. Back comes Ablett. Gastiff stood his ground well and lost it. Still he goes, John Gastiff. Shaw, as always, put his body in. Kickett fell on top of him. And now Shaw and Kickett having a bit of a to-do.
Langdon and Stoner behind play with the umpire just standing right in front of them, just taking count.
Meanwhile, it's bounced. Malaxis. Zanotti. He's at centre-half back. Towards the feuding pair. Clears them. Leading back in the race is Rice. Who's got it left half back. Not a particularly good hand pass. Coming in very solidly was Madden. Down is Heady. Meantime, Victoria scrambled it through midfield. That was O'Donnell. Couch away nicely. Runs. Tumbles a kick inside 50. Ablett, great mark.
Fantastic mark, really was. Wilson was right behind him on that occasion, as close as he could be, but the skill of Ablett just too much. And Brett Heady in a spotted bowler there. Great courage to put his head down at the ball, but ran straight into Madden. One player you don't want to do that to is Simon Madden. Let's hope he's all right.
Well, the superlatives have been used on this man. What a marvellous mark. He started half a stride behind. As the ball arrived, he was in front. He kicks goalward and misses. He misses to the right. Victoria extend their lead. It's out to 7 points now.
Brett Heddy still in the hands of the trainers after that clash with Madden. That is how it happened.
Right hand shoulder.
We're back live now with Rice. He gets it on towards Mitchell, who's under pressure, and the ball is taken over the line by Chris Mainwaring.
It was a very fair hip and shoulder. Heddy just lack of experience there.
So inside 50 for Victoria if they're good enough. Shaw claim. With him down the bottom there is Dale Waitman.
Another good tackle there by Michael Mitchell. He's had 2 or 3 already in this game. His pace has allowed him to do that. They're waiting now for the ball. Players stop there, Sandy, with the stretcher coming out for Heddy. He's not looking too good.
Well, that's unfortunate for Brett Heddy, who opened up with a fine running goal. He's not using the stretcher, as you can see, and once again.
In fact, he may have just realised Madden was there at the last minute, but too late. But very fair on Simon Madden. Great courage by young Heddy.
Steve DeRuy.
He could possibly give him the task on Ablett, Sandy. He was the player that looked after Ablett on Saturday. And it could be a good change.
Are you surprised he didn't start?
I was actually, Dennis, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
So still on the 50-metre line for Victoria. Ironmonger has an area initially, but we'll get another attempt to Mitchell. Flicks it round the corner up towards Langdon. Stoneham had him round the neck. Madden off the ground to Couch. Paul Couch up towards Brereton territory. Ablett also takes out Ironmonger, who's clever enough to scoop it wide to Hart. Hart's kick is low, however, and goes onto the chest of Simon Madden.
The champ on centre wing. Oops. Oh, interesting kick. Little back pass to the goalie. Watson's got it. In short. Collins cleverly across to O'Donnell. Kicks inside 50. Wilson backing his judgment, coming to meet it. Collides with Brereton. Towards the boundary line goes Wilson. Assisted by DeRuy. Now he's in trouble. That's ambitious, and Ablett gets it out of bounds. It's going to be a free kick. Was that deliberate to the umpire, sir?
So he said.
Gee whiz. There goes the kick around the outer side. Winmar up. Bounces off his chest. Was that deliberate? We'll have a throw in. Tough decision. Ironmonger and Lowe. Great advertisement so far for Australian rules, this one. Bruns, high kick inside 50. Henwood. Kick it now. Needs to. Through the centre towards half forward. Rice a timely fist. Stoneham's over the ball. Good tackle by Langdon. It spills to Buick. 45 metres out. Normally a good kick. This time he misses to the right. Well, Stoneham in the grasp. Tried for a free kick. He fell forward. And the umpire having none of it. Here's Silvani. Short pass in. And Shaw looking good.
The Collingwood champ. Kicks to centre wing. One grab wasn't good enough for Dean Rice. And we'll have another throw.
And that move has been affected. Sorry, Sandy. DeRuy has picked up Ablett.
Ironmonger and Madden again. Neither takes it cleanly. Shaw gets a hurried little chip. Malaxos will be first to it. Quickly getting it away to kick it. Centres it beautifully. Wonderful kick and taken by Hart.
50 metres.
No 50 metres, Ross. Towards the 50-metre line, the lead is on. Sumich get a push. The umpire said no. Silvani gets it away over the top towards Watson. He's in trouble, but he gets it back again, and now they're out of trouble. This is McGuan. Started well to Bruns, the newest member of the AFL 200 club. Goes inside 50 again, looking for Lowe. And eventually over the line.
Chris Lewis just did well enough there. Could have given away the free kick, but turned his body and looked at the ball at the last minute. The umpire allowed him the benefit of the doubt there.
Just under 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Lowe got it away initially, but then it was kicked towards the centre. Wasn't a good kick by Zanotti. Madden is the architect there. High to half forward. Brereton the target. One grab, couldn't complete it. Waitman going past, went without it. And a chance once again for Hart to relieve the pressure. Goes to the outer side. He finds Mainwaring. He's got to get past McGuan. Tumbles it up towards centre wing. No mark taken. Pushed out was Collins, but he's got good backup support. Bruns receives. Neville Bruns now. Victoria to the 50-metre line. A big pack of players, and Ablett got up a mile. Couldn't take it. Waitman could have been tackled high. Gets it away, but straight to Malaxos. And again, the Sandgropers go to the outer side. And again, it is Collins. Pushing it forward for Victoria. He's having trouble picking it up, and he gets claim. They've still got possession. And now they lose it. Kickett gets the hand pass out to Hart. Hart up towards the half-forward line. Pushed defensively towards Silvani, but he's well claimed. The tackling has been fierce. That one said the umpire was too high. You agree, Roscoe?
Well, there's some great tackles in the centre of the ground that could have been played similar to that one, but the umpires let it go, and they picked one. Well, the second tackle there by Wilson was high.
No doubt about it. Silvani across the ground. McGuan off to Collins. Nicely done. This is Frawley on centre wing, down towards right half forward. Brereton. Zanotti, who's so quick over the ground. He was there. And Brereton was there as well. And Zanotti's going to get a free kick, and Brereton needs to be careful. I suppose technically he's still suspended, is he?
Well, he is.
And he isn't.
Technically, yes.
Well, Zanotti's got the ball. There's about 8 men on the mark, and they're all fighting. Zanotti goes looking for Ironmonger, not the most nimble. This is Lowe at centre half forward. Salmon got an awkward one, showed courage. Waitman likewise. Ablett, chance at his third, pulls it back across his body. It hangs in the air.
Oh, yes.
4 points. It's 5-1 to 3-1 at the WACA ground.
And what about the skill and determination, courage of Dale Waitman there? He was the player that set it up. Watch this again. Went for the ball on the first occasion. Lowe's got it. The ball spills free forward. Salmon, a good effort there. Unlucky not to get a free. There goes Waitman very quickly out to Ablett, and fine finish off. Baines on the ground for WA. Wilson off.
He loves state football, Dale Waitman. 19 plays 31. Malaxos sends Western Australia down towards their half-forward line. They ideally want the next goal. Bain went through, but without it. Heading towards the boundary line is Barry Stoneham. Langdon chasing, and eventually over on the outer side. Almost a full house here at the WACA. Langdon coming in from the side. It's not effective, however. And the mark is taken for Victoria by Stuart Lowe, the marking machine. Looking for Brereton again. Zanotti, effective spoil from behind. Ironmonger doing the roving down in front. McGuan ridden into the ground and ridden in illegally. Defending was Hart. Towards full forward. Salmon again. And a push this time.
Yes, Earl Sporting's now got the job on Salmon with Henwood picking up Low. Beautiful setup kick there coming from Waitman.
So out of strife, and Hart marking at half-back for Western Australia.
He's been busy, David Hart. In short, Zanotti. He can run off Brereton if that's his plan. This is Bain. Oops. Madden almost got him too. Bain, untidy hand pass. Gastev, he's been busy too. Down towards right half forward. Mitchell is going back. In from the side, Rice. Collins, strong tackle, got him down. Applied by Bennett. Rice does well again. Frawley. Interesting hand pass. Bennett's got it. Lines up on goal and doesn't miss by much. Danny Frawley must have thought someone was far closer than turned out. He hand passed it away and really made trouble for himself. This is Silvani going back with courage. Mainwaring finds it on the ground. Shocking kick. Bain with courage. Silvani, Watson, Shaw, Mitchell working in close confines. Watson came back from out of bounds. Marvelous stuff. Kicks around the outer side, Bruns. Well, no room in which to work, and they weaved some magic there, the Victorians.
Bruns towards Brereton. Can't take it. May get another opportunity. It's shoveled forward to Waitman. He'll accept it and go short, and the mark is taken this time by Brereton.
Gee.
And if that isn't 50, Derui was late.
Oh.
Still, they've allowed it to go on. It should have been 50. Watch this again. Brereton, full control.
3,
Watch this.
4.
There we go.
That's 4 steps. 4 steps.
Very lucky there. Very, very lucky.
There is a different rule for Dermy.
Shouldn't be.
Seems to be.
Let's have a look at his kick. From 45 metres. Very deliberate Brereton in his approach. A slight stutter. Great kick off the boot, though. That's a goal. First goal to Brereton. And the 6th for Victoria. Great shooting for goal. They lead 6-1-37 to Western Australia 3-2-20.
As we watch that, they're going to replay, make up your own decision there. But Brereton, a very steady goal there for Victoria and a strong goal. Fantastic kick for goal is that play, but he's been well held so far by Zanotti.
Victoria looking good. Shaw getting a lot of first use in the middle. Lowe couldn't control it. Zanotti. Lewis, nicely done. Hurried kick towards centre wing. Bain and Watson. Bain hand pass to his own advantage, held without it. Clever football by David Bain. The 1988 Sandover medalist. Not a particularly good kick. Well, as it turned out, Buick's got it. 50 metres out. Long. Inaccurate. Uncharacteristic. Sneaking it through for a minor score. Plenty of skill in that man.
It's the second time he's missed to that side, Dennis. And a bit fortunate, though, the kick coming from Bain to find Buick on that occasion.
Stoneham, Members side. Good kick. Out wide. Madden will run onto it. Can he control it? No, he can't. And Ironmonger knocks it out of bounds. So we've got a boundary throw in. The 2 number 1s will contest.
Not deliberate, Ross?
Well, it was in the action of trying to get toward Madden. His arm just extended and pushed the ball out of bounds.
Fisted towards goal by Bennett, taken by Silvani, and has a bounce across halfback. Sumic still chasing, but he gets his kick out wide and finds Mickey McGuan. McGuan going in towards centre wing. He was looking for Bruns. Couch is there also. The 2 Geelong boys trying to combine, and eventually they get it away. This is Stoneham up towards half forward again, and a strong mark taken by Lowe.
That's not 50.
I was going to say, in the context of the 50-metre rule, really, whilst it would have been a very, very soft decision to use an ordinary word, that is basically 50. If you take the 50-metre ruling as it stands,
Of course it is.
well and truly held, and the ball just thrown away.
Stuart Lowe looking for his first goal and Victoria's 7th. Kicking from 40 metres. The drop punt is not a good one off the boot at all. He takes it across the face and just sneaks it in from behind.
Well, he'd be disappointed with that, Sandy. Still only the 2nd point there for Victoria. Pretty accurate kicking. But Lowe has spent a lot of time on his shooting at goal with Peter Hudson and Stan Alves, the respective coaching assistants down at St Kilda. Would have expected more from that.
Hart kicking out, and that also is very, very wide. Going to be kept in by Mitchell, however. Very quick. Silvani getting back on it. It's a little too far for him. Watson gives him support from behind, and it's good. Short looking for Couch. Perhaps just a little too high, and the ball's sitting up. Claimed, Shaw. It'll go back for an even better tackle, and it was by David Bain. Tackling's been great in this first quarter. Bain, who came off the bench, sending West Australia towards Mitchell.
They've been forced to go wide out there, Sandy, because Bennett, his lead straight down the centre, was blocked off by massive players in front of him. He kept at it. It's a testing kick here for Mitchell.
He's kicked one. And not too far away from siren time. The home side would love this. 3-3 plays 6-2 at the moment. They trail. Distance will test him. Just on 50. It will certainly test him. Langdon in front. No mark taken. And the ball held at the bottom with Simon Madden. With his rover Dale Waitman there. So in the square for Western Australia. Langdon coming in from the side. Shaw will head towards the boundary line. In fact, just squeeze it over from behind. One of the great workhorses of the game, Tony Shaw.
Just about siren time. Oh, on cue. So it's quarter time at the WACA ground. And Victoria 6-2 lead Western Australia 3-4.
So here we go into the second quarter. This is an important one for the home side. They cannot let Victoria get away, and Madden tries to hammer it. Hart can't take it. Neither can Kickett. Still at the bottom of the pack. Back with Kickett again. He tries to weave his way through. Tony Shaw bundled out of it. McGuan gets a hurried kick to the half-forward line. Bruns may get the run here. Neville Bruns away with a hand pass out in front of Lowe. He's on a tight angle. 25 metres out. He stabs it towards goal, and he goes. Great play.
How often would he do that? Stewie Lowe on the run. No chance to go ahead and scratch a mark on the ground.
7-2 to 3-4.
Well, as we often say, a lot of players feel more comfortable than it's having a shot on the run rather than that set shot. But a great handball there, as it turned out, by Bruns, and only his second state game for Victorian here. And a deliberate shot there by Lowe. Fantastic goal. Well done.
Here's a marvellous kick. Just the sort of start WA didn't want to the second term. Bit late now to grab him. Back in the middle. Here's McGuan. High kick down towards half forward. Got some distance. Brereton dropped it. Mitchell gets the hand pass in the direction of Shaw. Kickett missed him. Waitman. This is Malaxis. Mitchell on top of him. And the umpires decided it was in the back. Steve Malaxis, the skipper tonight. De Rui in the back pocket. Goes short to Bain. Now he can run. Bain, forward of left half back, a high one towards centre wing. Frawley jostling there, knocked away by Bennett. Going nowhere, Wilson, and he's penalised accordingly. Advantage not paid, despite the efforts of Collins. Bruns has got it now. It's coming back to Tim Watson. So Tim Watson, just up from right half back. He turns 29 in 3 weeks' time. There's his kick towards half forward. Lowe's the target, and why not? Best mark in the competition. Well, I suppose Stephen Kernahan would rank with him, but two great marks. Here's Ablett. Couch got the ball to him. So Ablett, outside 50. The man on the mark standing right on the line. Ablett then from about 58 metres, long towards full forward. Salmon reaching over the top, couldn't hang on. It skids through for a minor score.
Peter Wilson is in fact back on the ground, as you would have seen a bit earlier on. The player going off was Chris Mainwaring.
7-3 to 3-4. This is David Hart. Two minds as to where to go. Eventually elects the outer side. Fisted down in front. Couch working hard for Victoria at the bottom.
Really extending himself as Paul Couch. Sandy's working very, very hard. He's running almost unnecessarily at times, but really trying to get himself back into shape and form. And that's good to see.
So the bounce some 65 metres out as Tony Shaw tries to scoop it forward to accommodate Brereton. Still on the ground. He does get it away. Lewis was there but overruns it. Clever tap down towards the left forward pocket area by Mitchell. Sees it over the line once more, and Bruns just gives it over for the throw-in. A cool night here at the Wacker. No breeze. And a couple of very determined sides. Trying to storm his way through was Henwood, but goes to ground. Flick wide. Mitchell on someone going past. Has his skipper in Malaxos, but runs into a dead end and is forced to kick from a standing start. It's high, and a good mark taken by Barry Stoneham. Stoneham on the outer wing to put Victoria into attack. Long and low to half forward. Brereton caught behind. Zanotti is there, but it's pushed out of his hands. Down towards Ablett. Away from him it goes. McGuan in late. Bain leading the way. Bain still going. He and McGuan are having a great old duel. This lets Ablett in. He can go short if he wants to. He does to Couch. May go back to Ablett. Couch under pressure. Scoops it wide to Bruns. The Geelong combination. Bruns' kick is high. In towards full forward. And there is the man who kicked the first 2 goals, Paul Salmon, looking to add to his tally now.
Sandy, the change I'd like to see Ron Alexander make for WA's, put Spalding down to centre half forward, Langdon off the ground and bring Irving on the ground and line him up against Salmon.
Paul Salmon, 40 metres out. Certainly not a tough angle. This for Victoria's 8th to make their lead 4-5, and a good-looking kick by Paul Salmon. That's his 3rd. So Victoria moved to 8-3-51. Western Australia starting to struggle at 3-4-22.
And Paul Salmon there just showed how athletic he really is. You see on the start there, Spalding had the front position really, but Salmon's pace for such a big fella got him in front. Fantastic effort.
So real testing time this for Western Australia now. Here's Mitchell. Hart out of the centre for Western Australia. Langdon an opportunity. He's at right half forward. On that left foot long down towards full forward. Silvani gets a hand to it. And Buick unable to cut it off. Goes through for a minor score. First of the term for Western Australia. They're 3-5 and Victoria 8-3. Silvani wasting no time. McGuan. Up he goes, didn't take the mark. Recovers best though, and he's away. Loves a run. Bain in pursuit. McGuan down towards half forward. And drifting across on the angle to take the mark is Lewis. Chris Lewis read it pretty well that time. Sensing the danger. Running hard. He's at left half back. Back towards centre wing. Like Madden in this contest. Up he goes and takes the mark. Well, not the place to kick it.
It was made for him, wasn't it? He really had to sit.
Give him a run at it. Here's Simon Madden towards centre half forward. Low, fisted away by Henwood. Well played. Gastev alongside the centre circle towards half forward. Collins leads back in the race. Buick does well, applying good pressure. Collins can't keep it in, so Buick outnumbered 2-1 for an honourable draw. Boundary throw in.
Just over 19 minutes remaining in the second term. Madden wins it down looking for McGuan. Bain was in front of him, got a short kick. Pushed towards the wing. The kick was by Frawley. It wasn't a good one because it went straight to Ironmonger. He's got a player loose down on that left half forward flank, and it's Bain again. Well, he's been busy since coming on, David Bain. Oh. The groan comes from DiCometti as he drifts it into the pocket and again over the line.
It's really hard to understand. I mean, I agree with you, Dennis. I mean, there is Madden sitting there, Stoneham sitting there.
All the big guns.
And they just kick straight to them. I mean, there's just no thought by the forwards to go wide.
Flicked at the back. Malaxos a chance if he can pick it up. He can't. Eventually he does. Now he ducked his head and must lose it. That was Derek Kicken. So again, Victoria out of trouble through Watson. Short to Stoneham. Trouble here. Across to Shaw. Forced to kick high, close to the man on the mark. And the holding on is going against, much to his dismay, Stuart Lowe. But it's a shocking kick. Waitman takes it. Not good work by Derui on that occasion. In fact, a little bit of untidy stuff creeping in. This is Gastev. Time to swing round onto the right boot. Kicks it high and wide towards the boundary line. The bounce may be good for Frawley. He loses it. Collins gives him assistance, and he's going to need every bit of it. Mitchell's after him, so too is Buick. And eventually over the line.
Bennett was a bit stiff there. That could have been holding the ball.
There's the Vic bench. Dacos, Izard and co. 8-3 plays 3-5. Victoria in charge.
Madden in front. Bennett gets it down. Malaxis. McGuan. It's been very tidy. Touch ball off the boot. Bounces on centre wing. Henwood. Defiant fist back towards the wing. And Madden tracks it out of bounds. So the Vics led by 16 points at quarter time. They've increased that lead now. 8-3 to 3-5. Just under 17 minutes remaining till half time. So far, Victoria far and away the dominant side in this contest. Bain blanketed off the boot superbly. Couch, Shaw in trouble. Langdon was a bit kind. Gastev was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Gastev to Malaxis alongside the centre circle. Pumps it inside the half-forward line. Silvani. Great speed over the ground. Got it down to Rice. Still a battle after it. Mitchell's hand pass. A deflection comes from Couch. I would imagine that's O'Donnell at the base of that pack. It is. Doesn't mind it tough.
Silvani very deceptive, isn't he, Dennis, across the ground. He was right behind Simic there, who is not slow.
Bounce out his side. Madden fell over. Mitchell. Quick kick towards centre wing. Brereton. Shaw picked it up brilliantly. Towards half forward with the kick. Low surrounded. Lewis knocked off it. Henwood over the ball a long time. Ablett and Brereton. Henwood reaching over the top of them. Lewis comes away with it. Back towards centre wing. Now we've got a foot race. Kickett's in front. Went over. O'Donnell. Kickett comes again, but O'Donnell is broken clear. Has a bounce. Down towards right half forward. Kicks to the pocket. Brereton outnumbered 3-1. And the ball forced out of bounds.
It's been some fantastic duels between players coming from the same clubs in Melbourne. Kickett there, if he had a run as quickly as he did in the last couple of seconds, could almost have got O'Donnell on that occasion.
Low at the second attempt, but it's Malaxos who takes it away. Gives it to Zanotti. He's under pressure, but gets it off to Hart. David Hart at half-back. Kicks in towards the centre, and a good running mark taken by Mitchell. He's off. Michael Mitchell has a look up towards full forward. Buick's got to do it on his own. And what a mark by Silvani. Not paid.
Would have paid the effort.
One behind is the end result, but what? Have a look at this for a dive. And was only hitting the ground that jarred the ball out. A superb effort. Well, he brings it back into play. Looking for Madden. Effortlessly. Off to Mitchell. Small running players at Victoria have been busy early. Low. The St Kilda boys combined this time. Frawley towards full forward. Salmon down to Ablett. Over the top to Bruns. If it sits, he could be in business. But good defensive work pushed over the line by Steve DeRuy. And a throw in Victoria's right forward pocket. They lead 8-3 to 3-6 with just over 14 minutes remaining. Second term.
Victoria looking so sharp at the present time. Ablett. Now will it bounce? Zanotti's got it covered to Hart. The right back pocket, David Hart. To half back. Winmar. Haven't seen much of him. He's playing in the centre now. High kick. Not a good kick. And Watson has been a star. Tim Watson. Nice little dummy. Towards half forward. Ablett. Still he goes, Ablett. Well done. Watson. How did he get there? Shot at goal. Didn't miss by much. Well, that's running off the ball. Tim Watson initiated that. And suddenly bobs up on the end of the hand pass from Gary Ablett. 11 possessions to Watson. Inspirational player, as is this guy, Bain. Not so that time. Gastev gets it away, though. Big John Ironmonger, half-back flank towards centre wing. Frawley from behind. Great mark in front to Jakovic. Good stretching mark by the youngster from the WAFL. Named today as captain of the Teal Cup team.
Yes, only 17 years of age. What a future for him. This is Stoneham. Barry Stoneham. He's got Bruns wide on the wing. All alone. Gets his kick up towards half forward. Low. Can't get there in time. And good use of the body. And a good mark taken by Wayne Henwood to keep him out. And at the same time take the grab. The Moose. To centre wing. Wilson. Watson. And a throw.
John Ironmonger's off the ground and Dean Irving, the play, coming on.
Watson, deputy vice captain, with the responsibility of geeing up the youngsters today as Mitchell gets his kick down towards the half forward line. And again, Henwood is the stump winger. Had a couple of players running wide, elected to ignore them, and has opted for Langdon. Down in front was Wilson, but not far enough. McGuan takes it from Watson again. and kicks up towards low. Waiting was Ablett, so too Brereton. Runs into Lewis, and he's lost it.
He's a bit stiff there because Lewis took him pretty high on the first occasion. He didn't really duck his head.
This is Hart. Out wide, Winmar has it at right half back. Best and fairest for St Kilda last season. To Gastiv, best and fairest at the Bears. De Rui, is it Spalding? De Rui on the outer side, long kick. Inside half forward. Mitchell behind, 10 metres out, pulls it back and gets it. 2 goals to Mitchell. WA get their 4th. They're 4-6. Victoria 8-4.
And if Michael Mitchell had a problem earlier on, is controlling his pace. He is so quick that when he collected the ball on a number of occasions, his first venture into Melbourne, he used to run over the ball and fumble. But on this occasion, you just watch this for pace. And Rice, not far behind him, to pick the ball back like that on his left foot, non-preferred, fantastic effort. Great skill.
Well, another goal here to Western Australia will bring this crowd to life. They've stopped the Victorian run initially. Hart tries to get it out of the middle once again to Zanotti. He's got to lose a little ground before making it. Winmar is coming into the game after being desperately quiet. Across to Langdon. Wanted to get it further on to Jakovic, but he'll get a free kick anyway. Too high. So back it goes. The crowd were looking for Jakovic to score a goal. The lead is there. The mark not taken. Watson. He's working hard across that half-back line. Lewis off his boot. Past Kickett. Watson again at the bottom.
Great skill there by Watson. He pulled his kick as the player came toward him and still got his boot to it as the ball was in there as he followed through. It's just fantastic anticipation and skill from that player.
So on the 50-metre line for the Eagles, it was Wilson who got away. Bain scouting the pack. What's his left foot like? Won't have the distance. Silvani from behind. And there's a free kick going the way of Western Australia.
Holding on.
So Sumic will have a set shot at goal, 15 metres out. And the gap all of a sudden is starting to close. This to make the margin 16 points. Peter Sumic looking for his first, and you wouldn't believe it, has hit the post.
Well, a player with limited possessions that he's had, and I'd venture to say that's his very first kick, if not his touch of the footy. He's got to make more from that, and for a full forward, he's kicked 50 goals. He's kicked 31 points. It's probably indicative of that kick there.
Silvani kicks in. Missed by Stoneham. Here's Watson again. He's been everywhere. Just pushes the ball across the boundary line. Salmon having a run on the ball now. Opposed to Langdon. Surprisingly, Langdon wins it. Waitman, though, away. Shaw to midfield. WA lead in all directions. This is Spalding. Gastiv. With a kick, if intended, it goes out to Bain. We'll say yes. Bain has it. Outside 50. Long kicking, not his go. He won't get the distance from here, so he's waiting for a lead. You wouldn't believe it. None forthcoming. Well, that's terrible. Someone should offer something and just break it up. Wilson eventually does. About 10 metres beyond the mark. Kick it. Didn't touch it. Sumic rakes it in. Mitchell will do something. Still he goes, Mitchell. Buick, not beyond the realms of possibility here. Pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Salmon, Hart, snaps, misses. Well, some real sharpshooters working there for WA, but nothing came of it. Western Australia 4-8 and Victoria 8-4.
Very poorly organised there is Bain. They knew Bain can only kick 35 to 40 metres. Was never going to make anywhere near the distance. And all the forwards were standing still. Only Jakovic was running around, but in the wrong position.
12 scoring shots apiece, but Victoria leads by 20 points. Irving up Mitchell. A chance. Claimed by Rice. Waitman. But the whistle had sounded, and the West Australians will go forward again. Mitchell held illegally. Too far out. He tries to go short. It's not a good kick. Watson can't mark it, but does get it away to Tony Shaw, who's hurried high kick. Doesn't get a lot of distance. Goes only as far as the centre line where Irving takes the mark. Kicks long and low. Better looking kick towards Sumic. Silvani again damaging from behind. Socket off the ground, away from the arms of Rice and out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
And Darren Buick just hobbled off the ground. He looked to have just a bit of a niggly ankle or something similar. Main Waring's come on to replace him.
20 points in it. 7.5 remaining, second term. Western Australia unable to get away. Victoria unable to get away, but Western Australia struggling to get goals. Having kicked just 4 for the game. Langdon. Gastev, a snap. Wide. Out of bounds on the field. Silvani will give it to Waitman. Again, going to the outer side. Langdon trying to force his way to the front. Frawley was in that pack. Couldn't take the mark. Couch giving chase. On Winmar. Watson runs into him. And he apologises to his teammate. 6.5 remaining.
Interesting, the composition of the WA forward line. Bennett and Sumic. One wonders now if they can afford that luxury of both down there. The Victorian free kick. No, it's... Yes, it is. Thought for a moment Langdon was going to get it. Dale Waitman has it. High kick around the outer side. Brereton, the leaper from behind. Malaxis. Hart. Centre wing. Penetrating kick. Sumic the target. Why not Mark Silvani? Collins held without it. He'll get the free. Silvani wants to go. Advantage is paid. Watson. Marvellous first half. Couch. Cleverly. From half back towards half forward. Lowe's in front. Henwood closing. Ball runs free behind. It's still in play. Alexis content to run it across.
Dennis, of course, they did try and change that. Jakovic came on the ground to replace Bennett to try and get that movement going. They're trying to leave Sumic one out at full forward. As you see, Brereton off the ground.
Yes.
Dacos on.
Zanotti to Lewis. And he finds Jakovic. Jakovic on centre wing. Towards half forward. Collins an opportunity to tidy up behind. Does nicely. Mitchell gives it back to Collins. High to centre wing. Good strong mark taken by Lowe.
Incredible pair of hands as he gives it to Danny Frawley, who kicks up towards Ablett. Hammered out of his hands by Derui. Waiting down was Gastev. Gets it across to Zanotti. And again, Western Australia pushing it wide towards the wing. And Jakovic takes the mark. Well, the youngster's had a few touches since coming on. In towards the middle. And what a leap by Winmar. Gastev to full forward. Set up for Silvani to punch away again. He tries to get away and gets claimed, and it's a good tackle. He's lost it.
Well done there by Sumic, because Gastev did not give him a chance. He came round on his right foot and initially set to kick with his left. And he just pushed that ball too high for Sumic, who was on a good lead. But good recovery there, and just got enough grasp on Silvani. And the resulting free kick.
This to make the margin 14 points. And keep Western Australia well and truly in touch. Sumic looking for his first. He's had one poster. Has he missed that one too? Yep. So disappointment for Peter Sumic and Western Australia. 4-9. Plays 8-4 with just over 3.5 minutes remaining.
Well, at least WA's forward line is functioning better now. This is Bruns. But they can't finish it off. Runs at right half back. High kick through centre wing. Lowe has it fisted away. Mitchell has been very busy, as has Shaw. Wobbles one down towards the 50-metre line. Derui coming through with dash. Lewis. A throw, says the umpire. Well, a lot of those this season. Not too many of them have been whistled up.
Sorry, Dennis. He should have let Derui come straight through.
Sure, most impressive. Plays on, centering kick. Ablett is going back, coming over the top. Spalding. Hand pass comes from Dacos to McGuan, and the short one finds Couch. Barely the required distance.
Mick McGuan has really worked very hard. I had him mixed up in the very start of the game with Dean Anderson. In fact, it was Anderson starting on the bench, McGuan on the ground, and he has been very, very busy and effective.
Couch will kick from just outside the 50. 5 kicks, 5 hand passes for Paul Couch. Langdon goes off the ground. A smaller player comes on. It's Buick. And that will make the forward line still more mobile. Couch goes long. I think it cleared the line. Ablett claiming a mark. That's the goal umpire got to say. The mark will stand. Well, it's a fine mark. Just inside the field of play. Gary Ablett has kicked 3 so far. And given his wizardry, I think he'll go close from here, no doubt. Ooh. He runs around, screws it across his body. That's almost regulation for him. Ablett gets his 4th, and Victoria increase their lead. They're 9-4 to 4-9.
Well, that's the consummate ease which he does kick those balls, Dennis. He makes it look easy and standard for him, but even so, a difficult kick from there, but the right way to kick them rather than running straight with a drop punt. Ran around to his right, just bent the ball back beautifully.
Four goals, 1 to Gary Ablett. From the centre bounce, Mitchell couldn't get it away cleanly. Bain has a chance to receive and does. Gives it to De Rui, who pumps it high and long for Western Australia. Down towards half forward. The race will be on at the back. Main wearing a chance. Can't sock it off the ground. Good pressure from Collins. Out it comes again. Wilson's in strife. It came from Buick. Stoneham tried to get it out. And eventually with Mitchell at the bottom, almost stamped into the turf, we'll have a bounce.
And Derek Kickett now being asked to play centre half forward.
Well, Western Australia would love a goal in this last minute. They're starting to trail badly. Tony Shaw's had a great second quarter. Finds Bruns. And away goes Neville Bruns. Passes in towards Dacos. That was his target. Comes off his left foot. Winmar weaves through. Gets the hand pass away. Lewis. Can he get past McGuan? No, he can't. It's a great tackler, Mick McGuan. Malaxos to Bain. Inside 50 go Western Australia again, but only as far as Matt.
Couldn't have picked him out better.
Straight down his throat. He's got Bruns wide or Frawley. He can take his choice. Neville Bruns towards Stoneham. Lewis almost infringed. McGuan trying to get it out for Mitchell. Malaxos spoons it forward for Mainwaring on to Bain. This looks tidy. Oh, he runs his full distance. He's run too far. He has run too far.
Yes, he got sucked in there a little. He had no option though. Sumich had led too short to him by the time Bain had steadied. Then had the choice of kicking toward Madden again. So to get over Madden's head, took the extra few steps and penalised.
Well, it matters not. Very close to siren time as Andy Collins takes his kick to the outer side to his skipper and Simon Madden. It is half-time here at the Wacker. Victoria 9-4. 58 lead Western Australia 4-9. 33. So Western Australia in that quarter kicked 1 goal 5. Victoria added 3 goals 2.
13 scoring shots apiece, but really that doesn't reflect the dominance the Victorians have had. They've been by far and away the better side in this first half. The umpires, well, they've let them play tonight. I was going to say this afternoon, tonight. And it's been a very enjoyable spectacle because of that. WA bench, well, they've tried a few tonight, but still, it's a big margin Victoria's way. Half-time at the Wacker tonight, 9-4 to 4-9. Well, we won't see, but a few starters now on the bench for Victoria. 22, of course, in these games. Anderson hasn't had a run. Morwood, Rice,
and
Brereton. Brereton, not in the picture, but he did go off the ground.
So here we go. Vital term for both sides, particularly for the home side. They've got to stay with Victoria and try and peg them back. Ironmonger wins it out to Mitchell from the centre, but he's beautifully claimed by Alan Izard on the ground. Watson does the heavy work to let Frawley through. Frawley's kick is high, back towards half forward. Zanotti takes the chance. He always does, loves to. Kick is not a good one for Gastev, however, and beats him over the line. So a throw in on centre wing. Conditions haven't changed at all here at the Wacker. Madden used the body nicely. O'Donnell. A hurried kick up towards Dacos, who came off the bench. A fair interchange. Brereton off and Dacos on, which shows the strength of this Victorian side. Ironmonger stands his ground. Low comes over the top, but it's taken by Gastev. Gets it on to Zanotti. Runs into trouble in the form of Bruns. Whiteman working hard. Gastev, Zanotti again onto Winmar. Quiet early, but came into it late in the second term. Nicky Winmar, they need him firing up towards the half-forward line. Irving couldn't take it cleanly. Stoneham out in front. Now Sumich and Watson. Sumich working hard. He's got to beat two of them. And the big man sees it out right to the end.
Did that quite well, Sandy. Worked very hard. You see the bench there for WA. Carl Langdon taken off late in that second quarter.
Boundary throw in just inside 50. This is Shaw, all the time in the world, gets the kick off, gains about 25 metres. Couch takes the mark on his chest. Paul Couch across half back. It's a high kick towards centre field. It bounces the once. Lowe's got it, slips it inside. This is Collins. Collins kicks inside 50. Clever kick into the path of Ablett, and Ablett's taken the mark about 40 metres out from goal. He's kicked 4 already. He'll kick from about 45 metres out, and a betting man would say his 5th could be on the way. Marvellous kick, that one. Mind you, the ball carrier had plenty of time. Ablett then deliberately kick slides right across the face. Back goes Salmon, couldn't hang on. Zanotti shoulder to shoulder with him, and the ball's jarred out of bounds. Pained expression on the face of Gary Ablett. We've got a boundary throw in. Plenty of size there. John Ironmonger and Paul Salmon. No change to the halftime scoreline. Salmon in front into the path of Shaw. Almost came off that. Dacos can't control it. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Little set piece there at the boundary throw in.
Ironmonger again going with the left arm, and he hammers it towards the boundary line, but there's been a free kick picked up out of it, and the advantage is paid. The kick, however, is wide, but it's going to be okay. Mainwaring takes it from Lewis. So Chris Mainwaring running in towards the centre. Mitchell, well, he'll get a free kick because the arm went on the shoulder, and the advantage is paid as Mitchell goes scooting towards half forward. Collins on all fours stops it. Buick under pressure. The ball jars free. It comes to Tony Shaw. Dummies once, gets it back, does it well. Madden claim, but he gets a short kick, but only as far as Winmar. Two number 7s, Winmar and Mitchell. And this big crowd would dearly love Winmar to leave some of his magic here tonight. Into the pocket. Great spoil by Silvani. Gee, he works hard. Buick on the boundary line. He bends it back and it hits the post.
Great attempt.
What a great spoil there by Silvani. Just getting his fist there.
He comes out of nowhere, doesn't he?
Like
just arrives with that last stride.
Stoneham towards Izard. Coming off the bench, Alan Izard, one of the Essendon contingent. Malaxos pushes it down. Mitchell gets a short kick towards the wing. Hart leads in the race, but Waitman's on his hammer. Hart does it beautifully. Shrugs the tackle of Bruns, goes with the left foot in towards the centre, and a well-directed kick too. And here's a chance for the Eagles, because Derek Kickett will send them forward. He's got Zanotti running past, and he loves to have a run. One bounce. Two, he may lose it. No, he gets Gets it on 50 and he runs into trouble. Is able to flick it wide, however. Jakovic pushes it in towards the pocket. And Silvani with Stoneham see it over the line.
To be super critical there, Sandy, the advantage of giving the ball from Derek Kickett to a Mark Zanotti, the level in skill there just not comparable. And what advantage did we gain?
Madden decisively down to Mitchell. High kick. Gastev drops the mark. Should have taken that one. He's in trouble now, battling with Couch. And Couch does well for the Victorians to tie it up. 9-4 to 4-10. Just over 19.5 minutes remaining. Gastev looks to the heavens. Here's the bounce. Just inside the 50. Rucks go at it. Ironmonger away by Frawley towards the outer side wing. And Lewis takes the mark on his chest. Wants to play on. That's ambitious. Does well, though. Goes around Bruns. Kicks inside 50. On the lead, Sumich. Got his fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. This is Collins with dash. Contending there is Bain. And Bain runs it across the boundary line. Well played by the diminutive David Bain. Plenty of pace there. Match it with Collins. No mean feat. Boundary throw in. Madden comes from behind. Neither ruckman touched the ball. Madden gets the kick away, though. Kick it from behind does well. Malaxis now a chance to Bain, who wasn't ready. Still it's Bain. 40 metres out. Confused everybody. McGuan did brilliantly. The hand pass came across to Couch. Back to McGuan, who kicks it out wide. Gaston leads in the race. He'll pick it up about 5 metres in from the line. Jakovic battling with Shaw off the ball, and in turn Frawley. There goes the kick down towards the 50-metre line. Winmar couldn't control it. McGuan comes away. Short pass to Shaw. Shaw has the ball up from right half back.
Steadies proceedings down. About to have his 14th kick. It's just been another typical gritty Tony Shaw performance. Stuart Lowe says thank you very much.
Freak against him, Sandy. He pushed Henwood out of the way as they went for that ball. Wasn't subtle enough, and umpire saw it. And that's 50.
Yeah, that's silly.
No, he's not playing it.
We haven't had a 50, and we're still not going.
Perhaps they're not allowed in the State of Origin. I'm not sure. We should check the rules.
Maybe a 15 then.
Is the kick wide to the wing, and the mark taken by Winmar. Nicky Winmar coming up for his 6th kick. Long and high. Madden's underneath it, but gets edged out. Great attempt to mark by Sumich. His immediate opponent Silvani sets it up for Couch, and the Geelong centreman swings it into the middle. Going to ground was Whiteman. Take the free kick. Dale Whiteman in the centre. Victoria have not scored in this term. Hart will soccer off the ground, going back towards the centre. Jakovic beaten for it on that occasion. Mitchell has McGuan running wide. Mickey's pass too far out for Paul Salmon, and he sees it drift over the line in the right forward pocket.
And Neville Bruns has a few words there. He was freer than what Salmon was.
Collins has done some good things in this quarter too, hasn't he?
He's a very good player, is Andrew Collins.
Just the one behind, having been scored so far in this term, that by Western Australia. That kick is very wide and not pretty, but Lowe will be able to make amends with McGuan. So he gets the hand pass away. The pass goes towards Gastev, who was in front of Tony Shaw. Ablett soccers off the ground and kicks a goal. Gary Ablett has kicked goal number 5. And it is Victoria's 10th. 10-4. Oh, he's 4-10.
I'm not sure if he's smiling there. Obviously, he would be very happy, but perhaps a little surprised that came off. But I mean, you just give up talking about Gary Ablett. You just watch in amazement the skills he's displayed tonight, along with plenty of other players on the ground. They're kicking World Cup style. Fantastic.
10-4 to 4-10. It's Victoria by 30 points then, after a Roger Miller-like goal. Gary Ablett, his 5th. Michael Mitchell in trouble. Waitman keeps it alive. Bruns the hand pass. Izard in trouble. A chance for Ablett at his 6th. He narrowly misses. In the grasp, slung as he kicked. And just by a couple of metres.
Great work by Waitman.
Fantastic. He's done that a few times tonight, Dennis. I think he's just his ability to get the ball out in lightning reflexes is just terrific.
This is Bain from Malaxis. Bain in the left back pocket. He's tried hard. Not a good kick. Ironmonger couldn't hang on. The fist came from Couch. Mainwaring hard against the boundary line is claimed. It spills out of bounds and will be thrown in. So Victoria led by 16 points at quarter time, by 25 at half time. And now with just over 15 minutes remaining till three-quarter time, they've skipped away. It's a very handy lead. Ironmonger to Mitchell. Mainwaring through centre wing. Winmar going back. Frawley, a desperate lunge. Lucky to be okay there, sliding into the chairs. The ball is out of bounds on the bounce and will be thrown in outer side. The crowd has continued to build since half-time. Quite a few latecomers. Well over 20,000 now. This is Izzard breaking away. Intended for Bruns. Wide of the target. Malaxis at close quarters to Ironmonger. The shortest distance between 2 points. He gives it to Mainwaring. High kick towards centre wing. And Madden, who really has put his stamp on this game, takes a strong mark. Kicks across the ground. The target is Ablett, pushing the ball back through the middle. Breaks the Lewis tackle. Cleverly away. O'Donnell, a bounce alongside the centre circle. A chip pass out wide. Too much carry. Fisted away by Henwood. And now Michael Mitchell has it close to the boundary line on the outer side.
Under pressure. He comes inside. Gets it across to Kickett. Down towards half forward. Collins tries to intercept by soccering clear but can't. Sumich at the bottom. Out comes Winmar giving it to Buick onto Bain, and he's claimed from behind by Waitman. Ball spills free. Play on the call. McGuan at the bottom. Gets it out to Waitman again. And the Richmond champs away, but the whistle had sounded. Got to come back. He's not impressed, Flea.
Funny that the player chasing was David Bain, who committed the same crime early in the game.
Yep. Just a little too far. So David Bain from the centre, going to the 50-metre line. And Silvani stretches over the pack. Watson gives the hand pass away to Collins, who just chips wide towards the boundary line. Silvani had drifted down to there. He goes over the top and finds Couch. Swings inside onto his left foot, looking for and finding McGuan. Wants to get on with it. He's got Tony Shaw and Bruns both wide. Chooses the latter. What sort of a bounce? Well, there's a free kick to the Eagles. Bruns puts his hands on his hips in disbelief. The advantage is paid. Zanotti kicks down towards Lewis on right half forward flank. From 60 metres, he stabs in towards full forward. Good-looking kick. The mark not quite completed by Sumich, who's bundled out of it. Jakovic is there also. Stoneham on the last line of defence. Gets the hand pass away. And again, Victoria are able to bring it out towards Mitchell. And it is Winmar who is forced to defend with the kick coming from Madden on that last line of defence, who now has got to jog up and do the run, which he does. Kick it, and he will, to full forward, pulls it round. Jakovic from behind, Buick in front, scouting the pack. Not quite quick enough. And again, it is Collins defending stoutly. Gives it to O'Donnell. He goes over the top to Watson. A little too far and over the line.
He really is a thinking player, isn't he, Andrew Collins? The hand pass was a clever one. Initially, then that little toe poke, and then he ran on to Shepherd. Not a lot of which appears in the stats, but my word, he does the right thing for his team. Madden thumps it out of bounds and will be thrown in once more.
If you remember his game here, Dennis, a couple of weeks ago against the Eagles for Hawthorn, I mean, he was close to the best player for Hawthorn that night. He just worked so hard.
Victoria by 31 points then. Madden knocked on by Michael Mitchell cleverly into the path of Gastiff. He's inside 50. John Gastiff hard against the boundary line. Waitman smothers it off the boot.
Clever smothered too, Dennis. He didn't rush it. Just knew Gastiff had no alternative. If he had gone the other way, could have tackled him. Just put both hands out there, not forcibly, and the ball just came straight to his hands.
Just over 11 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Buick's off the ground again. A slight limp there. Madden out-rucked by Ironmonger. Kick it. Gets it to Hart. Hart slides it across the goal face. Stoneham going back takes the mark in the opposite pocket. He's played very well.
Wilson is the player that's come on there, Dennis.
Stoneham has dominated initially centre-half back and then full-back. O'Donnell up from the back pocket. kicks towards centre wing. McGuan has it knocked away by Bain. This is Bruns, does nicely. Desperate lunge by Winmar, produced a poor kick. Mitchell battling with Malaxis. Mitchell a second opportunity. Untidy hand pass. Couch slips the kick at tackle. Now a sweeping hand pass to accommodate Izzard. On it goes. Morwood inside 50. Mainwaring knocked it away. Morwood battling there. Keeps it alive. In goes Watson. Couldn't do much with it. Mitchell goes in for Victoria. Lewis over the top. Mainwaring at the base of all of that. And we'll have a baller.
Peter Dacos, Dermot Brereton, Dean Rice on the Victorian bench. 10 minutes remaining in this third term, and Western Australia unable to make an impression at the moment on the scoreboard. Kick at the diving mark is going to be paid.
Just saying before how Michael Mitchell earlier in the goal he kicked and set up was able to control the ball running so quickly, but on that occasion before just ran so fast, no control whatsoever.
Mainwaring pumps it high. Oh, Madden was the flyer again.
Jeez.
Well, he gets a run, and that's all he needs. It's just like a stepladder. To his Essendon teammate O'Donnell. Wide to Morwood, who's just come onto the ground. Knew Zanotti was on his hammer, so spooned it forward. Zanotti is caught. And a good tackle too as it breaks free and drifts over the line. Tony Shaw goes in for some encouragement. So to Gastev for his teammate Zanotti. Ironmonger. That's just a straight swipe, but it's effective. Irving tried to flick it to someone going past. Lewis. Gastev hurriedly onto the left foot, in towards full forward. Silvani does it well. Onto O'Donnell, now Watson. He's got Shaw loose, finds him. Tony Shaw over the top to Danny Frawley. They're drifting it now to the half-forward line. Ablett will be the fire! Great mark.
He read that so well, he really did. Frawley was looking for Lowy. Understandably, Ablett just held back. And a fantastic mark. If you thought Nicky Winmar's mark on the weekend was a great one, have a look at that one on his chest. Shoulder high.
Enjoyed it too.
Well, he might go for this to make it number 6. The drop punt is on its way, but he's gone for distance, and in doing so has pulled it severely out of bounds on the foot.
Still, the mark memorable from Gary Ablett. Here's Earl Spalding in the back pocket. WA finding it very tough to score. Back it comes towards centre wing. Comes forward of the pack to Couch. Thought about the hand pass. Cleverly away. Shaw has it. Back into the forward line. Salmon's the target, and Salmon takes the mark. About 35 metres out. He's kicked 3.
And as he did that, Dennis, Bennett's come back onto the ground with John Ironmonger going off. Great mark there by Salmon.
Forward line of Victoria causing the West Australians heaps of problems again tonight. You might remember Jason Dunstall in the corresponding match last year kicked 9. Salmon misses to the near side, so Victoria increased their lead with just over 7 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Victoria 10-6. Lead Western Australia 4-10. Kick in, straight down the middle virtually. Off the ground by Zanotti. He goes again. Unfavourable bounce. McGuan, tireless. Kicks inside 50. Desperate attempt by Ablett. Couldn't hang on. De Rui's in there. Waitman over the top. Claimed by Hart. And there'll be a bounce. Well, Victoria now dominating this game. WA really struggling to push the ball past half forward. Rucks go at it. One by Salmon, taken by Zanotti. Kicks through the congestion towards the outer side. Low. Meters in the clear, draws a man. Pops it over the top to McGuan. A centering kick. Salmon. It falls to Izzard. Hurried left footer. This is by quite a margin, through for a minor score.
Pummeling away, but with little result. 10-7. Plays 4-10. Western Australia have added just the one behind. Gastev at the back. He'll bounce his way down towards the wing. Got to get past Tony Shaw and can't.
There's that second example of a great smother. Waitman, the first one. Fine effort there by Shaw.
Poor old Gaster, it's him all the time.
Madden may do his own roving work here, but the whistle had sounded. And it will go back and be taken by Barry Mitchell towards those magic hands of Stuart Lowe. Now Ablett will be trying to create something here, and almost did. De Rui in the back pocket. Oh, he's going the other way to his hand pass, and it just sits in the air for a moment, but Malaxos will get him out of stride. Going to the outer side. Henwood may lose this, and it could be costly. Couch on the boundary line. McGuan went without it. In comes Waitman from 50, but wide and out of bounds on the forward. So some untidy work in the last few moments, and as a result, very little product. We've seen only the one goal kicked in this term that went to Victoria, and it was kicked by Ablett. However, we still have a little over 5 minutes remaining as De Rui. Goes back towards centre half back. Drifts in towards the centre. O'Donnell and Zanotti clash. Here's a chance for Winmar now. He stabs it. Just a fraction too high. Collins waiting at the back. Djakovic going with him. And defensively pushed over the line.
Yes, and with Bennett leading there, Sumich is actually now at centre half forward, with Bennett assuming that full forward role.
10-7 to 4-10. Closing stages of the third term. Bennett and Madden. Madden decisively down to Izzard. Over the top, rather untidy. Sumich pulls it back. Vacant goal square, bounces it through. So WA's first goal of the term, only the second in the quarter. Victoria 10-7, Western Australia 5-10.
That's Peter Sumich's first goal, and he's amazing at time. He really misses some of the easy ones, but watch this. I'm sure he tried to centre the ball on his right foot, his non-preferred foot. Here we go, just threw it down, and it just skewered through, bending back almost banana style for the right footer, and that'll give him some confidence, and he needs it.
From the middle, the margin again 27 points. Bain takes the ball just on the defensive side of centre. If they can get a couple more goals, they could still make it interesting in the final term. Winmar. Well, he's 55 metres out. Will he let one go? He wants to. And he pumps it long. He's gone. 2 goals to Nicky Winmar, and will that give the Sandgropers a lift? 6-10 plays Victoria's 10-7.
Well, they definitely need that lift, Sandy, and Winmar had the option of Djakovic in the pocket as we watched this set up. Wilson trying to mark very untidily there. Winmar just settling. Djakovic had actually left at that stage, led to his left. Bennett came straight in front, but Winmar, this fantastic spiral torpedo. Great goal.
Lowe gets the hand pass. Bruns well inside the 50 with a kick. Spalding comes up and takes the mark on his chest. Amazing game, this football. 27 minutes without a goal, and suddenly 2 in a minute for Western Australia. Spalding, members side with a high kick. Irving will come over the top and fist away from Lowe. The magic of Mitchell. Away to Malaxis, who kicks through centre wing. Collins again. Got a fist in there. Lowe comes back. Dragged down solidly by Wilson. It's jarred free. O'Donnell almost in the grasp. Madden, suddenly the tempo is lifted, and Madden under pressure gains about 10 metres. Izzard drops the mark, scrambles after it. They're tackling with great desperation now, WA. That tackle was applied by Lewis. Couch got the kick away, but it's going to be a West Australian free kick down there. It'll be taken by De Rui.
Holding on there by Ablett, Dennis.
Steve De Rui. Just the defensive side of right half-back. 10-7 to 6-10, so WA clawing their way back into this. High kick centre wing. Mitchell! Up he goes. Didn't take the mark. Izzard behind. Gets the hand pass. Shaw. Mitchell again. Different one. From centre wing towards half-forward. Ablett in front. Fisted away by De Rui. Mainwaring. Slips. Claimed by Shaw. Was it Waitman? Waitman applied the tackle. was a sure tackle, and we've got a bounce about 52 metres out from goal directly in front. Just over 2 minutes remaining.
Critical time for both sides. Western Australia can get another one here. They're right in it. Darui kicks, and Mitchell is in trouble. So Izzard is free across that centre line. Spoons it to McGuan, taken by Bruns towards 30 metres, and a good mark. Not going to be paid.
Well, they didn't pay the one earlier on to Stephen Silvani down there with a magnificent diving catch as he fell to the ground, and only the ground knocked the ball out. And that surely, with enough touches, justifies a mark.
Well, Earl Spalding did ask the question and was ignored. The bounce. Spalding again. Well, he gets it to Malaxos, who takes it away towards centre wing, looking for Winmar. But had to beat two out there. A kick high towards half forward. It came from Stewie Lowe. Now this is Zanotti. Wide again, and this time he finds Winmar. He's at half back. Goes long again to half forward. Just over 1 minute remaining. Collins claimed, loses it. Towards the boundary line goes Sumich. And Western Australia have almost pushed it down to their 50-metre line. Time for another one if they're good enough and quick enough. 21 points the margin. Wilson coming in from the side. David Bain waiting down in front. Takes them to within 25 metres. Socket off the ground. And one behind. Gee, there are some exciting players in front of goal, and that man is one of them. 6-11 inside the last 30 seconds. Stoneham to the outer side. Kick it. They need a mark here. Oh. Almost got it. Stoneham had it and then lost it. Watson sprints away, is very quick to accelerate that first couple of metres. Gives it to O'Donnell. And Victoria out of strife now with just seconds remaining. Sumich takes the mark on centre wing. Stabs in towards the left half forward flank. There's the siren. Well, Chris Lewis has a look. This will make Nicky Winmar's goal look like a stab pass if he kicks it. He's going to be, oh, I don't think I can.
Well, even if Malcolm Blight had hold of this one, it might not make the
He's
distance.
going to let fly with the torp. Oh, well, it's a fair kick. Probably gone 65 or 70, but he needed to go 90. So there it is, the three-quarter time, and still anyone's game, although the margin is 20 points. In a low-scoring quarter, Victoria leads 10-7, 67. Western Australia 6-11, same number of scoring shots, but trailing by 20 points. They're on 47. So should this, the final quarter. Victoria leads by 20 points. Here we go. Irving and Madden going at it. Waitman brings it out towards half forward. Bruns is on his own on the 50-metre line. He floats a kick up towards that right forward pocket area, but the mark is taken by Earl Spalding. Well, Billy Goggin said Victoria wasted the quarter. What will they be able to produce? And Ron Alexander has said to his players, it is up to you, it's there if you want it. Shades of Kevin Sheedy some years ago in a grand final. What will happen? Mainwaring takes it wide. Very quick to just pump it on his boot though and goes straight to Tony Shaw. Poorly directed kick. Madden was just about off. Simon Madden looking for his Essendon teammate.
Possibly free kick.
Possibly a free kick. Wasn't overly subtle on that occasion. Paul Salmon. David Bain runs it out to centre wing. Silvani, again an effective spoiler. Bruns collects it, gives it back to Silvani. His hurried kick is wide, under pressure, out of bounds on the full. So Western Australia continuing to surge out of trouble and into attack. Bain easily gets around Couch. Kicks high, and a good mark taken by Simon Madden, who's slung to the ground by Lewis after he takes it.
And again, a lack of intelligence there. There's just no one on that forward line leading away from Madden.
Madden, forward of half back, through centre wing. Great mark by Lowe, sandwiched. Bain admittedly not all that big in front. Henwood behind. Lowe goes in short. McGuan, loved his game tonight. Michael McGuan across the ground. Bruns still inside the centre square. Well, just moves outside of it now. Pops the ball in short. Brereton, strong mark in front of Zanotti. It'll take a very good kick from here. He's outside the 50. So bear in mind, a number of these players played AFL matches last weekend. 14 in the Victorian team, 9 in the West Australian team. That could be a story as we go down to the wire. If Victoria don't get some early goals, Hart is in there, fisting towards the boundary line, and it will be thrown in. 10-7, 6-11. Just under 22.5 minutes remaining in the game. A very large crowd now. Early start, of course, in Perth. Here's Waitman behind. A half chance, couldn't control it. Mitchell away to Salmon, standing start, goal. That'll make it hard. Salmon gets his 4th. Ablett has 5. So they've been the major contributors out of the 11. 11-7 to 6-11. Victoria lead at the Wacker.
And again, fantastic work there by Dale Waitman. Under the bottom of the pack there, just pushing that ball forward. As you see it here, controlling it all the way, letting go there. Mitchell just getting it out as quick as you like. And Salmon, great reflexes again. And what a target he has been.
So the margin out to 26 points from the centre. Western Australia want the next goal and want it badly. David Hart flicking it round his body down towards half forward. Collins charges forward, runs into trouble in the form of Kickett. Flicks it back towards Hart again. He may leave this for Gastev, and does. On to Malaxos, whose work has been somewhat patchy. Over the back, Djakovic and Langdon both there. So too Stoneham, and it is the big Victorian who sees it over the line. There's the Victorian bench headed by Peter Dacos. Madden wins it, and Waitman, great control. Shaw over the top to Silvani. He can run on if he wants to. Has a look up towards half forward. Bruns gives away a little bit of height. Mitchell. Malaxos goes back again to Irving. Going nowhere fast at the moment, but Derui will get them out of strife. Floats it wide. Couch and Winmar are both there. So too Bruns. Irving can't trap it cleanly. Has Main Waring. And Henwood still on that centre wing area with Djakovic and Stoneham, and eventually over the line. So no one going anywhere fast in that last minute or so, but the home side being forced to continually play catch-up football in a relatively low scoring game. They may find this margin too great, but it's not over yet. Hart to the right half forward flank. Silvani will spoil from behind, and look at that fist defensively away into the West Australian camp.
A classic defender's game. I mean, I think his best position really is full back, but he's coped very well at centre half back.
Boundary throw in. Just over 20 minutes remaining. Couch, quick hands, got it to Waitman. This is Shaw. Done very well tonight. Clever little kick. Could have hand passed. Watson through centre wing, down towards the pocket. Brereton within scoring range.
It's been pretty quiet tonight, Dennis. He hasn't had many touches. A couple of kicks, a couple of handballs. Zanotti had the better of him over the evening. Brereton only came on late in the previous quarter when Maud went off.
I think that knock in the first term hurt him a little bit.
Yes, he wouldn't have shown it, but he was shaken.
Not stirred. Misses to the near side. Dermot Brereton back in action for the Hawks next Saturday against Footscray. 11-8, 6-11. Steve Derui to kick it in. Virtually straight down the middle. That's ambitious. Madden reaching over the top, fisting away. Main Waring into open space. Kickett leads in the race. He's got about 10 metres on Couch. He'll be quick enough. Tries to bounce it. Now he's got problems. Derek Kickett trying to be a shade too fancy there. Lewis running away from his own goal. Pops it up in the air. Intended for Widmar on the lead. Almost the mark. It falls forward. Taken by Silvani. Superbly done. kept his balance, sends play back to centre wing. Madden drops the mark. Socket off the ground, Mainwaring towards the boundary line. Lewis does nicely. Lewis runs towards half forward, centering kick. Bennett's the target. Off hands, Watson couldn't take it with him. Langdon goes off the ground. Mitchell swoops. The hand pass not a particularly good one. Kick it, keeps it alive. Socket off the ground by Watson. Great courage to find it on the ground. Mitchell got the hand pass to Izzard, who then proceeded to kick it out of bounds on the full.
Fantastic work by Watson, wasn't it? I mean, he really kept at it.
Lewis. Plenty of cries of Louis. He decides to pump it long.
Old song.
Very old song, but a classic. And it threw for one behind. David Hart has battled hard. 6-12. Plays 11-8. O'Donnell. Straight down the middle. And a good mark taken by McGuan. He's got Bruns wide. Who's got a panic. Ablett can't take it. Silvani going past. With him is Sumich. Ablett recovers and does the heavy body work to open it up for Bruns, who kicks and has put through a behind. Oh, great work by Ablett then to clear the path for Bruns. 11-9 plays 6-12. Back into play again. McGuan in front. Will Spalding.
Not a lot of moves left, Sandy, for the WA coach to make now. Ron Alexander. Players really aren't dominating any position that can be moved to take over another.
Low, only as far as Mainwaring. Shades of the last term. Victoria starting with an early goal, and then a war of attrition. This is Hart running up towards centre wing. Spearing kick towards half forward. What a beauty. Bennett on the lead. He thinks he's back at the MCG last Saturday. Give him that reception. Darren Bennett could go close from here. Decides not to. Over the head of Kickett. And that's backing up. Sumich.
Certainly backstopping there. That's very, very fortunate.
The shake of the head from Sumich. A wry smile from Kickett. No concessions from Tony Shaw. His game face on still. Now here's Sumich. He'll kick from just inside the 50. He can give it a long roost. Just the one goal tonight. He'll go close from here. Sumich. That is a magnificent kick. Straight through the middle. So WA come back. Sumich has 2. Western Australia 7-12. Victoria 11-9.
It's been a great battle between Sumich and Silvani. Silvani winning the honours quite handsomely, but two very young and talented players, and what great football futures those two players have. And Sumich missing a couple of early shots, kicked a very hard one in the third quarter, and followed with another good goal there.
Important this time out of the centre. Can Victoria reply, or West Australia get another one? Shaw's kick goes down to the right half forward flank and drifts over the line for another throw-in. Approaching Victoria's 50-metre line. Bain. Hart. Into the centre. Oh, Collins comes to meet it well. Just snuck clear of Lewis. Been a good player tonight, Andy Collins. His kick is wide. Waitman has been superb, particularly in the packs. Mitchell, Madden combined, down towards Couch.
What great work by Madden. Here he's played all night on Saturday night, and he's running around like a rover.
And he's only 32 years old.
Just, yes.
To half forward, at the back, Gastev will give it to Mainwaring. To half back, and Malaxos takes the mark. Wants to go on with it quickly to Mitchell, who's swift enough to get it away to Earl Spalding. Can they mount something here? Down towards half forward, but Stoneham is way out in front of Jakovic. He gets it away to Watson, who's been brilliant, and Tim Watson stabs up towards Couch on centre wing.
Paul Couch last year's Brownlow medalist. 1-2 from John Platten. Kicks towards half forward. Ironmonger reaching over the top, deflects it out of bounds. We've got a throw in. 11-9 to 7-12. Still plenty of time for WA. Over 14 minutes remaining in the game. Hard fought affair. Ironmonger down to Henwood. Through Izzard. Kick it. Great tackle laid there by Mitchell. Izzard back into the fray. Clever hand pass away to Lowe. Lowe the centering kick. Intended for Ablett. Almost the miracle mark. Couldn't hang on. This is Main Waring. A little indecisive. High kick towards centre wing. Out of the chest of O'Donnell. So Victoria, the defence standing firm. McGuan through the middle. Back inside 50. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Spalding slaps it away. Taken by Malaxis. Back to Spalding. Kicks out wide Bain. Away he goes. A second bounce. A flicker of hope for Western Australia. They're running well in midfield. In fact, they're dominating midfield at the moment. The Victorian defence working overtime, but doing it superbly. Bain slung out. Silvani. So another attack repulsed. Silvani out wide. It'd go out of bounds on the full. It did not. It bounced out of bounds. Mitchell tracking it out of bounds and immediately proceeding off the ground. That's tidy.
There's Rice coming on.
Almost on the wing, out of side. Madden and Ironmonger. Just over 12.5 minutes remaining. 20 points the margin. Was the margin when we began this final term. But Western Australia have struggled to get any closer. Couch. Izzard. Away from Ironmonger. Flicking it high. Main Waring underneath. But he won't beat Stuart Lowe. Difficult hand pass from McGuan, so he backpedals a bit. Combines with the same man again. Now Couch. High by McGuan. And Paul Salmon has kicked 4. In fact, how accurate precisely has he been?
Well, I've got him down for 4-1. So not a bad night's effort from 5 kicks.
Would have been in strife. We've got 4-2 from 5.
Would have been a problem.
Let's see what he does. And away to the left for 1 behind. Now he's got 4-2. And the margin creeps 1 point further, perhaps out of Western Australia's reach. Hard to Malaxos. Under 11.5 to go. Good mark taken by Spalding, gets it on to Mitchell. Almost down to the half-forward line, and off before he took it was Henwood.
Out of bounds.
Well,
there has been a number of fumbles throughout the evening by the West Australian players. They've been more intent on looking after the player rather than looking at the ball. Their eyes have gone off the ball because of that, and fumbles have eventuated.
Well, they need the next goal, and they need it quickly, Western Australia. Just under 11 minutes remaining now. The 2 number 1s go at it. Madden has been brilliant tonight. Couch a long time. That must be holding the ball on the outer side. Advantage is paid. No, it's not. It will come back. Mitchell breaking away. All to no avail. So can they establish something up forward this time? And again, Mitchell has to go back. Is it my kick? Yes, it is, says the umpire, but not from there either. Well, we've got something of a farce going on here at the moment. He's not happy. Michael Mitchell then. The umpire is satisfied. Watson gets it across the boundary line and will be thrown in. 16 points the margin at quarter time, 25 points at half time, and 20 at 3/4 time. The Salmon goes off the ground. Seems to be okay. That's somewhat surprising. Ironmonger and Madden. Almost clean possession to the Giant. Both of them are. There was Ironmonger. Gastiff, hurried kick. Lewis and Collins falls behind them. Bennett towards the boundary line. And Jakovic escorts it out.
Perhaps Dennis with Dean Anderson, the player coming on, who hasn't had a run tonight. Just merely the sake move by Bill Goggin to give Anderson that run.
Some legs. Madden. O'Donnell through the congestion. Mitchell missed it. Couch. The hand pass a little untidy. sold Stoneham into trouble. Anderson immediately in the fray. Stoneham, Rice over the ball. So in fact they've injected a couple of runners in the last few minutes. Victoria, no doubt aware that pace could bring them undone here, although they look pretty safe.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Winmar, Stoneham breaks free with strength and kicks down towards the centre. Bruns and Mainwaring both take each other out and open the way for Hart. Down towards half forward. Bennett at the back.
Great mark. He really used his body well there, Sandy. Other forwards may have been inclined to put their hands down towards his opponent's waist. He didn't do that. He just pushed him out with his waist, hands in the air, controlled that very, very well.
Only his 4th kick for the night. And they desperately want this goal. He's got it for them. Darren Bennett gets his first. And Western Australia continue to hang in. 8-12, plays 11-10. The margin 16 points.
But opportunities have been few and far between for Darren Bennett. On that occasion, caught behind. Frawley has bowled him up again. Second time in about 5 days. On that occasion, Bennett too clever.
Can they creep back? Just under 9 minutes to play. The margin is 16 points. Victoria send it out to right half forward, as they've done for the best part of the evening. Mainwaring only as far as McGuan. We've seen that scene played out a few times tonight. Kick it to open space and McGuan tidying up on centre wing. Anderson well inside the 50. Ablett from the side couldn't hang on. Ball back to Anderson. He tried to crash his way through. Didn't go very far. In fact, he went backwards. And it's tied up at right half forward for the Vicks. So I get the feeling now WA realising it's almost out of reach. Anderson hasn't seen much action tonight. Wishes he hadn't seen that last bit. Here's the bounce. Lowe doing the ruck work. Ironmonger gets it out of bounds.
It's almost similar to when David Bain ran into, beg your pardon, Brett Hetty ran into Simon Madden. De Rui just stood his ground and Anderson just went full ball straight into him.
Here's the throw in then. Lowe reaching over the top. Bruns, who's done very well tonight. McGuan, arguably the best man on the ground, is centering kick. Ablett and Brereton. De Rui knocking it away. Henwood under pressure scrambles it towards the boundary line. You want perfect? That was. Some of the crowd gasped. Here's a throw in. Henwood as cool as you like. Clean possession, Ironmonger. Mainwaring hard against the boundary line. Was he held? Not according to the umpire. Bain scampers in and knocks it across the boundary line.
Just over 7 minutes remaining. 16 points the margin. And while they've closed the gap, Western Australia, they have never looked as though they're really going to come over the top and do something. Couch gets it out to McGuan. Had a great game. Down towards the pocket area, over the head of Zanotti and over the line.
Spalding a bit stiff not to get a free back in midfield there.
Still Ironmonger. They want the next one very, very quickly. Sumich is at half back. Floats it into the centre. A big ask on Jakovic. Stoneham's with him. Has help in the form of Anderson, who flicks it round his body. Tony Shaw can go on with it. Putting Victoria inside 50. And the opportunity now with Brereton taking it off hands from 50 metres. He floats it high, but it is wide, going across the face of goal and another behind. So under 6 minutes remaining. 11-11. There's 8-12, 17 points.
Indeed, Anderson has gone off the ground, obviously feeling the effects of that knock from De Rui, and Mitchell back on.
Poor kick in by Zanotti, marked by Rice. 5:20 and counting down. Dean Rice could score from here. There's Anderson in the background. Appears to be a shoulder. It's bad luck. Straight on the ground and copping that. Rice. Slow approach. 45 metres out, slides it across the face. Ironmonger slaps it through for a minor score. inside the last 5 minutes then. The margin, 18 points. Hart being told to wait. The goal umpire just finishing waving the flags. Hart kicks it straight to Shaw. Ironmonger coming across. The opinion of the umpire got there in time. Mainwaring scrambles a kick towards midfield. O'Donnell, high one, inside 50. Ablett, oh, almost the mark. Still he goes, Ablett. Bain, nice evasion, comes away with the ball, swings it out wide. Malaxis running with it, confronting him O'Donnell. Good hand pass. Couch with support outside, chips it wide into the path of the runner Rice, and Rice has taken this one only about 35 metres out on a very slight angle. Good composure there from Couch, but he's on the ball. He does have great vision and poise. At that time, assessing the options, Rice was one, and he popped it up. Dean Rice then. A question of accuracy. It's close. It's home. And you get the feeling, so are the Victorians. Victoria 12-12, Western Australia 8-12.
Well, that's a good result for Dean Rice. He's had a pretty harrowing year. His brother was seriously injured in an accident in Europe. He's had those problems off the field, and to come and play football as he has this year is a great credit to him.
Again, we ask that you do not go to the playing the meter at the end of the match.
So a 4-goal margin. Out of the centre, it's Tony Shaw who puts Victoria into attack again. Off the boot of Bruns it comes. Ablett applies the tackle. Waitman has worked tirelessly. Mitchell gives it to Couch, just stabs short, and Neville Bruns marks 30 metres out, almost directly in front. And Victoria making sure of proceedings now.
Plenty of people around, plenty of options there for Couch, and his teammate was the one that he selected.
Neville Bruns looking for his first goal and makes no mistake. So all of a sudden Victoria are able to apply the pressure and scoot away again. Their lead is 30 points. They are well and truly home.
Yes, there was a stage in this last quarter where West Australia still had a chance, only 15 points down. They could have got back, it just fell away. Now Victoria just really asserting themselves.
First goal to Bruns as we go back for the centre bounce once again. Very good crowd here tonight, but they're starting to depart now, realising that Victoria has this game in their keeping. Hart's kicked down to half forward. Silvani in front almost took the mark. Watson, brute strength, tempts Gastev. Kicks high, back towards the centre. Fisted away from Mitchell. Down towards Collins and Lewis. Lewis is held. He tunnel balls it backwards. Watson's at the bottom. Waitman gets it out. Shaw finds Mitchell. Barry Mitchell will have to give it to Bruns eventually. Tackled high, but he'll play on. The advantage is paid to the 50-metre line, and Rice takes the mark. So Dean Rice has had limited opportunities tonight. He's been on and off the interchange bench. But the young Saint, we saw kick a goal moments ago, has the chance to go into the record books with a second. But it is not going to do that, and he will not want that in the record books.
The idea was quite right. Ablett was leading quite clearly there in front of De Rui, but the execution, not what he wanted.
The De Rui to half back. Kick at the target. The back, Tony Shaw. Just shovels it forward again. Mitchell onto Madden. Short again, Brerett. Well, they're pretty ragged now, that West Australian defence.
Mitchell's had a good game. Barry Mitchell. A lot of touches.
Still there, yeah. Little running players. Worked pretty hard. Tony Shaw certainly been no exception. Brerett shooting for goal. Had to be close. Just missed to the right. So in his comeback game, he's kicked 1 goal, that being in the first quarter. But that is really it. Watson trying to out-bustle. Rice again. On to McGuan. Had a wonderful go. In towards full forward. Over the head of Ablett. He waits down in front and then he decides he'll go. Of course he does. 6 to the King. 14-13 to 8-12.
Read that beautifully. He led for that kick as it came downfield. Knew Madden was behind him. We see the kick coming down from McGuan. Madden was behind. Ablett just turned. A tap there, almost a spoil by Madden. And just a quick reflex kick there by Ablett. And 6 goals as he has played tonight. It's just been fantastic.
I guess you've got to say this doesn't balance the ledger for what happened in Sydney and Hobart, but they've been pretty impressive tonight. They've played with a lot of conviction and probably should have won by more. WA have tried very hard, but nothing up forward. Is Hart, a high ball towards half forward once more. Collins applying pressure. Lewis got the hand pass to Sumic. Stoneham couldn't control it. Jakovic, a half chance. Stoneham goes in, as does Bennett with desperation. So they're playing it right down till the final siren. Players at both sides. No concessions tonight. Here's the bounce. Inside half forward. O'Donnell. Mitchell again. Very adroit with the hands. O'Donnell from half back. The last 10 seconds of the game now. So the Big V pick up their first victory on the season as the ball runs out of bounds at right half forward. It will be thrown in. In fact, it won't be. There's the final siren. And Victoria proved too strong, and some smiles and relief on that bench. They came with a lot of pressure on them coming into this game. Victoria 14-13, Western Australia 8-12. Just checking the goal scorers, the bulk of those 14 goals came from Ablett with 6, quite outstanding tonight, and 4 to Salmon. And they both started in rare form, picking up the early goals, and as a result of that, it was always going to be tough. An exchange of pleasantries and smiles there for Ablett and Brereton. It was always going to be tough as far as Western Australia were concerned, because the players that Victoria needed to get touches early in the game got them. And because of that, Western Australia were always trying to come from behind. The ceremonial exchange of Guernseys, the 2 number 7s, Winmar and Mitchell. And Victoria, so many good players. I think the story of the game tonight really was the running players of Victoria. Coming in, the question mark was hanging over those running players. People thought the pace of the West Australians would get the job done. Not so. And the small brigade, obviously their pride pricked for Victoria, came out and did a marvellous job tonight. They dominated for the best part the midfield. They really shared the ball well. And of course that man, centre screen, Simon Madden, again captain of this Victorian side, captained them for the first time against South Australia at the MCG last year, gave those smaller players an armchair ride. He did so very well at the centre bounces and the boundary throw-ins. And in particular, he was the target for his teammates, and one sensed Western Australia on occasions in the marking duels.
Here's the final scoreboard at the Wacker ground, with victory to Victoria 14-13-97. Western Australia gallant in defeat 8-12-60. The final winning margin 37 points. Let's go down to the ground now with Dave Christensen.
Well on you fellas. Teddy. Stuck it right up them. That's what you did. You stuck it right up them. Yeah. Oh, what a bloody
Teddy,
relief.
we're on national television, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Just for a moment.
Oh, sorry about that.
It wasn't a great third quarter, but the boys fought back very, very well in the final term.
Yeah, it was an excellent. It's an excellent win for the players. They all deserve a tremendous amount of applause from everybody here tonight. The way they played the game, we are very much relieved. I can assure you of that.
You said as you came in at the beginning of the week that WA had some of the best players in the country.
Yes.
What went wrong with them tonight?
Well, I think they were outplayed. I mean, our players didn't need all that much motivation for this match as what you'd normally have, because they saw what happened in Tasmania the other day, and they were hurt Victorians even though they were not there. And I know that all Victorians watching now will be very, very happy to know that in this true state of origin match played here, and Victoria winning, it's a sensational performance. And now we've just found out that Simon Madden has won the Simpson medal. That makes it even better.
Does this even the ledger for New South Wales and Tasmania?
Well, no, that doesn't even the ledger. We were very cut and very hurt about that performance in those two states, but we take nothing away from them. But this is the number one side, and this is the true state of origin concept, and we're very, very happy and and very, very relieved that we have won it. And I can assure you, even in the last quarter, we kept looking at the clock, and when they came back, we knew the boys would finish on, because they had committed themselves today, when we spoke to them tonight, to play out the full 4 quarters irrespective, and that's exactly what they did.
Good on you, Teddy. Enjoy the night.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Teddy.